day 41 of the cut, and we are going to be getting experimentational. Gonna see if a free squat in the flat shoes is at all possible. And we are 265.9, so cut is going right on track. Still feel like realizing I can go sleeves over top of my pants is the smartest thing I've ever done. And because I don't have a box to catch me like we did on Wednesday, plan is to start with some deliberately slow tempos just to kind of limit load and make sure that I'm hyper aware of positioning. Because it would be very unwise of me to assume that it's just going to feel fantastic and that I can just go run some true max effort stuff. Doing tempos, just so you know. And my pelvis is flicking really freaking hard in that set, so that tells me that I probably need to stop overthinking where my legs are going and just remember to get tight. And I think I got the brace dialed in a little bit better for that set. Next one, I'm probably gonna toss the belt on so I can just crank in tight as possible, manage it better. And like so far, it actually feels kind of promising. A little bit better, and I think part of what it is like with the heels on, or especially the last 2 weeks of the prime wedge, I'm used to like carrying a higher torso angle, so it's kind of like I want to crank rib cage too hard of the hole. I just need to kind of embrace letting sternum be that little bit lower so I can actually use my hips. Rocket, 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 rocket. Ow. Yeah. No, I think it's a fucking nasty cramp. So either I'm working really hard to brace there, or I'm more dehydrated than I thought I was, because holy freaking shit. You know, like the lat cramps that you sometimes get on bench? Basically, the exact same feeling as I was in the hole in that squat. It was like, get this fucker off of me. So, I don't know, see if it calms down and maybe we'll keep squatting. Maybe we won't. Okay, update. Pounded some salt, moved around a bunch, got it feeling like 100% just standing up and walking. It's still like the tiniest bit weird feeling doing a bodyweight squat, so gonna give it like 5 more minutes and then we'll make a decision if we're gonna keep going. And like, it feels much, 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 much better at this point, but I don't totally trust it to not grab on me again. So dropped her down to 2, and the plan is to just pump some reps out without the silly tempo and see if I can grease the groove and get her to feel a little bit better here. I think it'll be too embarrassing to need spotters for this, so fuck it, if I die, I die. I don't think I have the mobility to dump a bar though. I think like my strategy would literally just be like jump and let it take me to the straps. Guys, fuck it, we're going up. Yep. Good. So, lesson, the plan that I thought was being smarter running the tempos might have kind of fucked me there. And I'm kind of suspicious that I needed to drop the rack height down 1, so I just dropped the rack height down 1. I feel like 19-year-old fat set squatting. That's really nice. Okay, 50 keys heavier than the set that almost took me out, which is still really light, so I shouldn't be that excited.
Really good on that one. Good.
Ah, felt good. And with that feeling as good as it did, I think I'm going to make the smart call, considering that I almost had it fuck off of me once already today, and call that like good enough for day one in the flats, because we are going to be able to build off of it, and now we can go do some real work over on the hack squat. And because I took so freaking long trying to sort out the crampy bullshit, Joel's already on the leg press, so I got to run the hacks all by my lonesome, but I guess we're doing the same 16, 16, 12, 10, 10 bullshit as last week. I'm going to try to run these in the flats too and just see if I can use it to push against the ankle range a little harder, get a little bit of active mobilization in, and I have no idea how many I'm doing, so I'm just going to do reps here. It's probably enough, maybe. You know what?
What?
Maybe your calves are going to grow, then you won't be able to be such a pussy about knee sleeves.
My calves are decent.
Same size as your knee. I can't even see, like, it's just like a,
Cylinder.
instead of cankles, you got nankles.
What?
Okay, I guess we're gonna try harder to count to 16 on this set. I think that's 5. I got to 16 in my head, so if we take into account the placebo effect, we're good. Masturbate while jogging? Yeah. And I probably shouldn't be surprised by this, but it actually feels harder in the flats than it did in the heels, so hopefully I don't die while attempting to count to 12. Wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but that was probably like 9 reps too, so I don't know. Okay, first round of the 10s. And I'm actually thinking that like what might be making this harder is not having the energy of getting to shit talk Joel every single set. He's looking at me, he's not saying anything. Now he's smiling, giggling, doing his little calf raises. Ha ha ha! Bah! Yeah, next one's gonna be fun. Okay, last set.
Go!
Is that 9?
Yep. Control it. Fuck yeah. Control. Fuck yeah.
Finally got someone to do a pants drop with me. Am I keeping up? No? And I was gonna run leg press next, but leg press is in use right now, so I figure I might as well catch my breath with some bros as Joel walks in front of the camera. He did it on purpose. He's smiling, he's giggling, he knows what he's done. And I think it's like, if anyone else in the gym walks in front of the camera, I know it's an accident, but if it's Joel, it's totally just to try to screw the vlog. I'm trying to make these a little more elbow widey, upper backy, because that needs a little bit more touching based on how bench feels. And going 16, 14, 12, 10 on this silly thing. Forgot to set that thing down, felt very compressed. Okay, 14 set. Putting safety down one because I kept planking on the last set, but I don't want to take the safety out because I don't want to accidentally die. Okay, 12 time. Okay, 10 time. Really hope that that was an accurate 10 count. Once again, time for Bulgarians until I die, this time with a cute little kettlebell. much more difficult just going back and forth, zero rest, than letting Joel go in between. And I'm thinking with gross feels on the squats, it'd probably be wise to swap the deadlift hypers out for single leg RDL, try to touch the hip a little bit harder, kind of where shit felt like it was carrying upstream. Because like with that squat back cramp bullshit, like I knew with how it came on, I was just kind of like a slow like, it definitely was a cramp, but after getting out from under the bar, like it felt very similar to like SIJ bullshit, and it kind of carried down to the hip, and the hip started freaking out. Like everything was just like freaked out, which kind of made me a little bit freaked out. But I mean, the biggest thing that I had to remember is that I know what it is. I know not fucked up. I know nothing got too funky, and I just kind of treated it like it wasn't a big deal and showed myself it wasn't a big deal, and it became less of a big deal. But still want to make sure the hips are more than good to go for the next lower session. And we're going steep mode with 62 pounds because I want to try to be a little bit stricter, a little bit more like reverse hip hinge than I have been with the 80. Yeah, felt gross in the exact way I wanted it to. Yeah. More dramatic with the.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotta be more sassy. That's what I need.
Like more exaggeration?
No, just, I gotta have more sass when I do it wrong. So aside from the crampy bullshit and it really being too light to have a real idea of if it could pan out, squat on the flats actually felt promising enough that I'm gonna at least do it one more time just to see, because it felt like with where my ankle range is right now, I don't think I lost any quad, but it felt like because I was able to kind of root and squeeze into the floor so much harder, I gained a lot of hip out of it. And like people on the internet, they always want to, you know, argue, West Side guys want to be like, squats posterior chain. And then like, even I'm kind of guilty of like being like a raw squat is quads. And obviously you want quads in your squat, but you also want posterior chain. And I think that the best squat for someone is how they can kind of like get what they're strong at to contribute as much as possible. So, I mean, like with my hips coming up over the last couple of years, like there might be something there worth looking at if it isn't taking away from my quads, because if I can have the same quads but more hip in it, like that's probably going to mean a better squat. And I guess the only way to find out if it is going to pan out is to keep seeing if it can pan out, and probably not run the ultra slow tempo. So I'm just time under tensioning my brace and over bracing until shit's just like, and then, you know, gets freaked out. But that is beside the point. But overall, stoked with the day. The Repier accessories, they're just freaking fun. And like, again, I don't know if one way is better than the other. Because like I was saying in the other vlog, like 10 years ago, everyone was all like volume, 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 volume is the thing that you need to be hammering. And then recently it's kind of shifted towards the more fatigue management, mechanical tension side. And the thing is like 10 years ago, people were still getting stronger. Today, people are still getting stronger. And I don't think it is like this cut and dry that it has to be one or the other. And I think that if anything, running the more voluminous approach right now, where the calorie deficit is very high, is going to at least like let me get something when I don't feel very assertive under pushing super, super, super heavy weights. And I think that the other benefit is that running it, like I'm going to be in better shape so that when it comes time to push heavier weights, maybe I'm going to be able to handle more of the heavier weights. So I don't know. We'll see how shit pans out. But again, we're so far away from the meet that all I really need to be doing is doing the right work in the right patterns to build what needs to be getting built. And as long as I'm doing that, it's going to do something good for me. So yeah, that is what I got for today, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate everyone for watching. Peace out. Have a good rest of your night.
Reminder that the Build a Resilient Low Back lecture is happening inside of Team Activated this Tuesday, where we're going to be taking a deep dive into low back biomechanics and training so you can make your low back a strong point. Sign up, learn from our entire lecture library, get feedback on your lifts, get mentorship, get better at powerlifting.